Hi,
Hey,
I'm Keith,
I'm Chris.
and this is Friday Night Movie Reviews. Thank you for joining us tonight. We have another movie to review for you if you can stand it and make it through the first, minute and 30 seconds or maybe 47 seconds of the show here. Um, hey, we went and saw a movie this past Friday night, and we made a family event out of this because this is one movie that's pretty wholesome, and you guys may like it and you may remember it. It's from a book. It was adapted into a play and later on adapted into, I think, a made-for-TV movie.
Yep, and now finally we're actually getting a theatrical version.
Right, a theatrical version. Now this was just a little bit about myself here. I actually did a community theater play, and I was in this particular movie.
Yep. So you were part of the history of the best Christmas pageant ever, basically.
Right. And that's the movie we went and saw, the best Christmas pageant ever. And I was in my 30s, and I played the 15-year-old brother.
Oh wow! Okay, yeah. the one that was Joseph.
Yeah, right, right. Yep. So, the basic premise of this movie, if you've been living under a rock for the past couple of decades, the basic premise of the movie is you have this town, and this town has become pretty complacent, and everything has become kind of routine, and they've fallen into a rut, and the church, I think it's probably the only church in the town. It's a really small community. The community church has put on an annual Christmas play for the past 75 years.
Yep.
And the director of the play has been directing the play for a great majority of those years. But what ends up happening is she ends up being able to not direct the play. And
so it broke her leg or something like that. Yeah.
And so she has to pass that moniker, the torch on to someone else. And there is a group of kids there, and they are pretty much troublemakers.
Yep, the Herdmans, yep.
And they end up going into the church and basically... they basically take over the Christmas pageant. I don't want to give too much away because if you haven't seen this, then you really need to go and see it. Because I think you'll probably enjoy the movie. As far as like the content of it goes, though,
since this is a PG movie, there's no language in it whatsoever. They do mention that the kids, there's one of them that curses at his teacher, and they show the kid doing it, but it's silent. It's being narrated over while he's supposedly doing it,
right.
And it's it's all a lot of tongue-in-cheek type stuff where there's not like a whole lot there. There's no adult situations because this is a wholesome Christmas movie, and it has all the normal Christmas themes in it. About community and family. And accepting others. That's really the big message in the movie is accepting others, even the Herdmans.
Right. Now, the Herdmans are, like I mentioned earlier, they're a bunch of troublemakers, and you never see the parents The parents are just kind of like, they're not out of the picture. They are still there. It just doesn't show them, and the movie wants to convey the fact that the parents are not in the kids' lives, and that's the reason why the kids are the way they are, is because they don't have any kind of adult guidance, and the only guidance they have comes from the older sister, and the older sister is the meanest out of the whole bunch.
Oh yeah. She's kind of the ringleader, tells them all what to do, and they all fall in line when she instructs them to do what they need to do. But there's a lot of pre-assumptions about this family. They're no good. They shouldn't be a part of this, and there's so much pushback from the community saying, "Hey, we don't want them in this play," and that's where you get the tension between the the person that's newly directing the play and the rest of the community, because she's like, hey, they actively want to do it. Let's give them a chance. Have we ever looked into why the Herdmans are the way they are?
Right.
And it was just like no one had ever thought about it because the complacency's there. Oh, the Herdmans are bad. We don't need to look any further into it.
Yeah, it was kind of like a they versus an us versus them kind of thing, where it was the community and the people who go to the church, and it was the Herdmans, and you just did not include the Herdmans did not include church in their lives, and the church just didn't include the Herdmans in their community. So, or the rest, or the rest of the community, actually, for that matter. Mm-hmm. So it was an us versus them kind of situation, and that's what Chris was referring to with the whole butting of heads of the lady who was newly appointed to direct the play, and the rest of the community, because the rest of the community was like, no, you're crazy for letting the Herdmans come in with this. And she was like, well, look, you know what, it's the Christmas is for them too. And so like Chris was saying, there's no language in this movie. I don't remember hearing one cuss word in the movie.
None. And it's interesting because this was made by Lionsgate. Mm-hmm. This wasn't made by like just a regular smaller Christian studio, where you expect that kind of thing where there's no language in it. So that was very surprising that Lionsgate took it on and there's no language in it and still presented it
right
the way they did.
I think they wanted to kind of stick with the
original story.
The original story, because the original story didn't include any of that either. There, like you said, there's no adult situations. Now, if you're going into this looking for action, like Die Hard or something like that, you're going to be sorely disappointed. This is a comedy.
Yeah,
it's a drama. It's a comedy drama.
So even without like the language and stuff, you find yourself laughing because these kids, even though they're supposed to be the bad kids, they're adorable in it. Especially the youngest one, she seems to be like just a little monster, but she's just so funny. Those are her wings. And you'll get the reference when you see the movie. Yeah. But Pete Holmes plays the main dad of the little girl who's grown up and narrating the film all the way through. And so if you're familiar with Pete Holmes, he's in it. He's probably one of the biggest names that I remember seeing in the movie. And then I can't remember the lady that plays his wife in it was the ex-wife of Ant-Man in the Ant-Man movies.
Okay.
So you recognize who she is. She did a great job in it. She's the one that directs the play and everything. I just cannot remember for the life of me what her real name is. but you've seen her in lots of stuff. So there are recognizable actors in it. And I say to people, even if you haven't seen the play or you haven't, or you've read the book or not read the book, it's an adorable movie that you can take all ages to.
Right.
And like we said, with Keith's family was there, so we had all age ranges covered, and it was still enjoyable. And there was a good sized audience there to see it, and they were all laughing, having a good time. So if you just need a good lighthearted movie, and I imagine this movie's probably going to run all the way through Thanksgiving into the Christmas season here in America, because I know in other parts of the world they're already starting to celebrate Christmas because they don't have Thanksgiving.
Right.
So they go to it. So for our non-American fans who don't have Thanksgiving and you're already enjoying Christmas movie, maybe add this one to your list to see.
Right. So yeah, all right. So what were your feelings on the movie? How would you rate it?
As far as Pepsis go, it was a good movie, good solid movie. And I really like the message and the emotion behind it. You might need some tissues towards the end of the film.
Yeah.
I would rate this one a good 8 out of 10 Pepsis easily.
Right. And I kind of agree with that. I'd probably give this about 8.5 popcorns. This was a really good movie. I enjoyed it because I'm a fan of the book. In 4th grade, my teacher read this book to us, and it was really great. So I've grown up enjoying this story, and then when it came on TV, seeing it on the made-for-TV movie, and now it's a theatrical release. And this is a good, wholesome family movie. So if you're going into it with any other expectations, you're going to be sorely disappointed with this one, because it's nothing but a good, wholesome family movie with a good message of basically don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, exactly. Christmas, like the wife said in the movie, the director of the play, she goes, Christmas is for everyone.
Right.
So even if you don't celebrate Christmas, or you seem like you're an outsider, an outcast, Christmas is for everybody.
Exactly.
And it just had a great message before it. And I couldn't be more delighted. It was just something simple, non-political type movie.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's non-offensive to anybody, what spectrum you might be on.
Right.
I can't say anything really else about it. It's just good.
Now, even though this movie is about a Christmas play that happens in a church, don't get that confused. Religious overtones are not pushed real hard in this movie, so you're not going to be offended by that. Just go into it watching it, knowing that it's a Christmas movie with the Christmas play going on. I have a collection of Christmas movies that I watch every year.
Same.
And this one, when it comes out on Blu-ray, this one will be in my collection.
Oh yeah, this will be in the rotation.
It will fit into the rotation of Christmas movies that we watch every year. I really, really enjoyed this one. Like I said, I give it 8.5 popcorns. I really liked this movie. Liked it a lot.
Oh yeah, it was perfect.
It was great, and we all and everybody had fun. We all laughed, and we weren't the only ones in the theater. There were some other people that were there in the theater, and they all laughed as well. I mean, the theater wasn't crowded by a large margin, but there were a lot of people that were there, and it was still laughs from all around us, and it was great. It was great. It was a really good time. I enjoyed it a lot. Well, there's our cue to go. Look, pack up your family, and you guys hop in the car and y'all go and watch this movie. This was great.
Yep.
We really enjoyed it. Make a family and friend event of this movie.
Yep.
It's a great Christmas movie.
Remember to like, share, subscribe. Remember to hit that bell notification for when our next video drops. Leave us a comment. What did you think of this movie? And if you have any other suggestions for future movies, leave them in the comments. Thank you.
And let us know what your favorite Christmas movie is. We'd like to have a discussion about that, because I have my personal favorite. He has his personal favorite. Everybody has their personal favorite of Christmas movies. So let us know what yours is, and we'll comment back to you. Hey, you guys, enjoy your movie. Have a good night.
No.
We'll see you later.